This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 1770. 7 Questions to Ask Yourself to Be Better with Money by Kelly Blodgett of moneygalcoaching.com. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. This is the show where I read to you from the best personal finance blogs on the web, with the author's permission, of course. I have a new author for the show today, Kelly Blodgett of moneygalcoaching.com. I'll tell you about her right after the reading, so let's get right to the post and start optimizing your life. 7 Questions to Ask Yourself to Be Better with Money by Kelly Blodgett of moneygalcoaching.com. Reaching goals can be hard, and it just doesn't happen by accident. We have to actually put in the work. So whether it's running a marathon, eating healthier, or getting that next promotion at work, a plan is laid out so we know, how am I going to get from A to Z? The same works with reaching financial goals or simply getting rid of stress around money. For example, if you want to increase your savings for an emergency fund, you have to determine, how much money am I going to need? From there, how much can I afford to set aside each month? Then you have to set that money aside and actively not spend it unless it's an emergency. Here are 7 questions to ask yourself so that you can stay on track with your goals and crush it with your finances. What can I do to increase my income? I'm sure you know by now, but the side hustle game is real. It's never been more important to have diversified income because a job is not forever. There are so many options today, so get creative. Try selling something you enjoy making, teach or consult in your area of expertise, or pick up some dog walking clients. Can I afford to pay more towards debt? What would my budget look like without debt? If you're making your monthly payments on debt, I would push you to see how much extra you can afford each month, especially on high interest debt. By making only the minimum payments, we're paying more in interest and increasing our chances of disaster if something were to happen with our income. Best bet is to pay it off as quickly as possible. And for a bit of extra inspiration, take a look at a life without those monthly debt payments. What else could you be spending that money on? More vacations, please. Am I saving enough today to fund my vision for retirement in the future? How much are you saving per month, and are you on track for retirement? The answer is different for everyone. It depends on how much money you would like to have for retirement and how long until you want to retire. If you haven't bumped up your contributions lately, you might want to look into that. 15% of your paycheck is a good goal if you don't have high interest debt. Is my emergency fund all set, or how much do I need to get it funded? Having an emergency fund to fall back on will relieve a lot of stress in case a pandemic happens, an expensive car repair is needed, or your furnace breaks in the middle of winter. A good rule of thumb is to have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved up and set aside in an account that you have easy access to. Don't include unnecessary spending while calculating this number. It should only include what you would need to get by. We aren't going on vacation during an emergency. What are 2 of your big goals, and do you have a plan to get there? In order to truly enjoy life, we have to be sure we're doing the things that make us happiest. Sure, we have to go to work and pay bills, but outside of that, on the weekends or in your spare time, what do you enjoy doing most? Maybe you want to save up for a camper, or you want to buy a cabin up north. Whatever it is, are you setting money aside? Do you know how much it'll cost? Have you created a vision board on Pinterest to stay motivated? Okay, the Pinterest part isn't necessary, but it sure can be fun. What system am I following to stay on track with my spending? Just like we have to be intentional to reach our goals, we need a system in place to help us get there. Do you have a budgeting app to watch your spending? Do you use the cash envelope system for categories you tend to overspend in? Do you log everything in Excel and update the pivot charts to see your savings progress? Whatever method speaks to you, put in some solid effort and you'll be amazed how easy it'll become. Is there anything holding me back from taking action? If you aren't able to get started on the previously mentioned items, why? Are you too stressed to even start? Do you not have a supportive partner? Does your debt seem too high to even begin to dream about retiring? Whatever it is, take one little step forward. Choose one thing that you can start to work on and begin there. You'll be amazed that with a little support, it's not as scary as you might have imagined. You just listened to the post titled 7 Questions to Ask Yourself to Be Better with Money by Kelly Blodgett of moneygalcoaching.com. And thank you to Kelly. She didn't make 6 figures or inherit money and managed to pay off over $46,000 of student loans in 20 months. She shares her stories, tools she uses, and more on her site. So come by moneygalcoaching.com for that and a lot more. And thanks again to Kelly for letting us share her work. There are so many things that you could do to improve your finances, but you're really the only person who can decide what you should do. I think the only real rule when it comes to money is that you need to spend less than you earn and invest the difference. And you can achieve this in so many ways. There are endless ways to reduce your expenses as well as increase your income. And there are so many options when it comes to investments as well. Maybe real estate is your thing, or stocks, or even an investment in your own business. When you consider all the things you could do, it can be a bit overwhelming, especially when you have plenty of examples of how other people are achieving their financial goals. It can be pretty tempting to just try and replicate what someone else did. I'd add to this list of questions to ask yourself, what are my unique points of leverage when it comes to financial matters? Maybe you have a unique skill that you can use to increase your income. Maybe you have a preference for minimalism that you can explore to further reduce your expenses. Maybe you have an extra room in your house that you can rent out. Or you're really good at building community and so you can start and maintain a buy nothing group. While the possibilities are endless, let your preferences and interests guide you to the options that are going to be most sustainable for you. For example, I have a close friend that's making $15,000 per month in passive income from her real estate investments. It's incredible, and I've caught myself at moments questioning if I should dive into real estate investing too. But when I really think deeply about it, this type of investing simply doesn't align with my preferences at the moment. And I'm reaching all of my financial goals with a long-term strategy of passively investing in low-fee index funds. Just because I could invest in real estate and increase my income doesn't necessarily mean I should. But that'll do it for today and another installment of Optimal Finance Daily. Have a happy Thursday. Thank you for being here every day and listening. And I'll see you on the Friday show tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.